The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by BSP, our bank, our people.
Hello, this is TV1 News. I'm Carol Kidu Jr.
And I'm Terry. Thanks for joining us. I'll join you later on with sports news.
In this edition, Thule awarded for human rights work, hunters to host tigers, and Andrew Solo joins Wigman outfit. Koroba Kopiago MP William Bando said in Parliament today that for many years, the people of Strickland in Lake Kopiago local level government have been affected by the environmental damages from Pogra mining operations. Bando said the Strickland River system is the home of many communities who do not benefit from the project, yet they bear the consequences of mine waste.
Speaking on the floor of Parliament, member for Koroba Kopiago, William Bando, said his people living along the Strickland River system were badly impacted by the Pogra mining operations. Bando said he has overwhelming scientific evidence from reputable sources that confirm the existence of extreme environmental pollution and negative health impacts.
Your department's position on the pollution of the Strickland River system and its effects on lives and livelihoods of my people. And I think the same is said, or can be said, of our people from Lagai on the Pogra side, the Enga side. Can you give assurance to my people that their plights will be considered or have been considered in the new Pogra negotiations?
Mr. Bando also said on Friday 13, 2020, the National Executive Council approved in its entirety the 18 recommendations of the CLRC report that included the total ban on riverline tailings discharge by future mines in PNG. However, Mr. Bando said the same NEC again on August 25, 2020, issued through the Mineral Resources Authority the new Pogra Special Mining Lease, approving the direct tailings discharge into the same Pogra Strickland River system.
Would you agree with me that the environmental liabilities of the old Pogra needs to be segregated or separated before going forward in the new Pogra with the citizens untainted, and I repeat, untainted, Kumul Minerals Holdings Limited? And finally, given the overwhelming body of evidence of extreme environmental and health and physical degradation on my people's habitat, what is your plan for the full compensation, and if any, so in what form, shape, and when?
Minister for Mining, Anopala, directed the question to Minister for Environment to answer the concerns raised by Bando.
Well, we both agree that this matter falls within the responsibility for both of us. So I want to point that out because I have been guilty in answering some questions recently that had more implications on environment than mining.
Freddie Moe, TV1 News.
Mining Minister Sir Anopala has given his support towards parties to the Oktedi Mining Project Memorandum of Agreement, who reviewed the MOA in Alotau Milne Bay Province this week. The minister's first secretary, Uwe Rova, officially launched the meeting on 21st March, Tuesday. The mine had contributed immensely to the country's purse and has 10 years of mine life left. The focus is on the review was benefits for resource owners and Western Province.
Octedis Mining Limited Acting General Manager External Relations Jesse Pile added that in the remaining 10 years of the mine life, parties and stakeholders must work towards the common goal of giving back more to the resource owners and the Western Province. Mount Fubilan Resource Owners Association Chairman and the Fly River Provincial Government Representative Joshua David and Petrus Malongim respectively agreed with the views shared. The parties to the Octedi Project MOA are the National Government, Fly River Provincial Government, Star Mountains Local Level Government, and the Mount Fubilan Resource Owners Association. OTML, Kumul Minerals Holdings Limited, and the Mineral Resources Development Company were in attendance as observers. The national government is represented by the Departments of Mineral Policy and Geohazards Management, Treasury, National Planning and Monitoring, Commerce and Industry, Lands and Physical Planning, Labour, and the Mineral Resources Authority. Negotiation agendas included special support grants, royalties, public investment programs, tax credit scheme, business development, labour, land matters, and mine closure. The special mining lease for the Octedi project was granted by the then government in 1981. In 1991, the first MOA was agreed upon by the parties, followed by 4 subsequent reviews in 1991, 1997, 2004, and 2017, which is the current agreement. Salome Vincent, TV1 News.
The Permanent Parliamentary Committee on Gender Equality and Women's Empowerment met to discuss issues facing women and girls in PNG on Wednesday, 22nd March. Chaired by Governor Paus Pakop, the committee has the mandate to review laws, policies, and programs related to ensuring safe, healthy, and prosperous lives for women and girls. Following a briefing by the UNDP, the committee reaffirmed their focus on GBV and SAV as their top priority, and they also discussed the importance of strengthening the justice system, increasing women's political participation and leadership, and ensuring proper use of government resources. The committee committed to reconvening soon to discuss core issues and hold public hearings on progress made by the government to address GBV and SAV. The Special Economic Zone Authority, or SEZA board, will support local manufacturing companies to target exports to overseas markets. The SEZA has held preliminary discussions with local manufacturers. Special economic zones are a major focus of the current government. Special Economic Zone Authority Board Chairman Barigini Badira said the board had had preliminary discussions with some local manufacturers to access international markets. He said there are 2 ways in which the SEZA board can support local manufacturers. Firstly is by bringing them together into a multi-industrial SEZ as an industrial park, having access to tax exemption, rental subsidies, and so forth. Secondly is by designating their existing factories as single factory SEZs that are targeted to access the overseas markets. Badira said he had positive discussions with the PNG Manufacturers Council and PNG Chamber of Commerce to assist through such modality to stimulate employment and upscale production. A 600 million kina program to improve sanitation and clean water accessibility in the country is now up to between 20 and 30% reach, with a 7 million kina government counterpart funding set aside in this year's 2023 national budget. The program is being financed by the European Union, the Australian Government, Asian Development Bank and World Bank, and aims to reach a 70% cover by the year 2030.
Prime Minister James Marape in Parliament this week acknowledged the importance of accessibility to clean drinking water and improved sanitation and commended the development partners for their support in this area. The Prime Minister gave assurance that the government is conscious of the need and rights of our people to access clean water. He said the government's commitment of 7 million kina was to counterfund the program going forward. A bill to embrace this program is in its final stage to be completed soon and will be presented to Parliament for passing. The Prime Minister also urged provinces and districts to incorporate the policy into their respective service delivery plans and implement this so people can have access to safe drinking water and improved sanitation. Frida Kana, TV1 News.
SP Brewery has reaffirmed its partnership with Businesses for Health by donating 40,000 kina to the organization today. The funding support is timely and falls right on World Tuberculosis Day, which is observed on March 24th each year. The observation day is designed to build public awareness about the global epidemic of TB and efforts to eliminate the disease.
Businesses for Health, a registered not-for-profit association, works to support the country's national TB program in its efforts to reduce the burden of tuberculosis on the people of Papua New Guinea. Today, SP Brewery reaffirmed its partnership with the organization by donating 40,000 kina to the non-profit to continue its good works. The funding support is timely and falls right on World Tuberculosis Day, which is observed on March 24 each year. The observation day is designed to build public awareness about the global epidemic of TB and efforts to eliminate the disease.
So the only way we can address our development challenges is us as a community coming together. The government, let's not look to the government to solve our problems because they cannot do it by themselves. That's where industries, civil society, community-based organizations, NGOs, let's just say faith-based organizations, we're all going to come together and play a role in addressing all of these development challenges. And I guess that's what we, SP Brewery, are doing here today by supporting organizations like the B4H to address this particular issue.
Businesses for Health CEO Dr. Anne Clark used the opportunity to run a brief awareness session about TB for the staff of SP Brewery.
In 2023, tuberculosis remains Papua New Guinea's largest infectious disease killer. Last year, more than 5,000 people died of TB and more than 42,000 people needed life-saving treatment and support. Most of them were of working age. A quarter of them were children. In Papua New Guinea, the focal points of the TB epidemic are here in the NCD and other major urban centres like Lae, Kimbe and Madang. TB is not a disease restricted to the remote rural villages. TB thrives where poor health is tolerated or accepted as normal.
Dr. Anne acknowledged SP Brewery's continuous support.
So thank you to SP. Thank you to SP Brewery and our other private sector supporters. And thank you to our TB wardens for saving lives, jobs and family incomes. Yes, we can end TB. It is possible in PNG and we look forward to working with more businesses thanks to increased support from SP in 2023. Thank you.
The Businesses for Health organization trains non-health staff in simple and effective TB workplace health promotion programming. They help people in workplaces find people with TB and minimize the impact of PNG's deadliest infectious disease on businesses. Mary Silla, TV1 News.
As World TB Day is observed, Australia is reiterating its dedication to supporting PNG in its efforts to minimize the health and economic consequences of tuberculosis in the region. Since 2012, Australia has contributed over 70 million Australian dollars to support PNG's response to TB, with the funding being utilized to enhance and strengthen healthcare systems, improve access to treatment, and increase awareness about the disease. Australia will continue to partner with PNG to fight TB through resources, funding, research and development with the ultimate goal of eradicating TB globally. This partnership is crucial for achieving this goal, and Australia remains committed to working with global partners to end TB and improve community health and well-being. This is TV1 News. When we return, Silent Defender awarded and BOC appeal for economy.
With BSP Internet Banking, you can enjoy your banking at home, at work, or wherever you are.
BSB Personal Internet Banking allows you to view your accounts and transactions, transfer money, bill pay, schedule future payments, or access your bank statements. Visit your nearest BSB branch to register now. BSB Internet Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
Whether we're playing sport, exercising for fitness, being active for work or play, just having some fun, or just chilling, there is one name we can count on that we know will keep us going strong. Skell Rice. Healthy, nutritious, delicious medium grain rice full of vitamins and minerals. Skell helps us maintain a healthy, active lifestyle so we can enjoy every day.
Skell Rice. Skell Life.
Open Nets.
We see you day in, day out, getting on with the job. Coming out on top because you're not one to back down. From the islands to islands, from the southern to the north, we see you moving heaven and earth to move our country forward. And at the end of the day, we will be there to serve Papua New Guineans who achieve success with the reward they deserve.
The Dolphins and the Broncos.
We're the Broncos.
Watch history being written. The first ever match in what's destined to be Australia's fiercest crosstown rivalry.
Ninja! Here, come on, dig deep.
The Battle of Brisbane.
You've witnessed history here on Fox League.
The Dolphins and the Broncos.
Harrigan, around the corner. Reece Walsh puts the foot down. Reece Lightning, all right. There he goes, blistering speed. Radwan does absolutely brilliantly. Adam Radwan, another fantastic score. This is a really, really good win.
Welcome back. Linda Rautule is a village court magistrate in National Capital District and a volunteer human rights defender. She is the president of the PNG Human Rights Defenders Association. For her toil in bringing disputing parties together at a village court hearing and defending the helpless from oppressors in communities around NCD, Linda Tule was awarded the Distinguished Humphrey Fellowship Award. She was recognized in a small but significant ceremony today.
It was a pleasant surprise for Linda Rautule when she received an email that stated she would receive the Distinguished Humphrey Fellowship Award.
It's going to be an 18-day tour. I'm going to go to North Carolina, and I'll be at Duke University. It's a research university. I'll be there for 5 days, and I travel up to Washington, D.C., where I will get my award before I return to Papua New Guinea. So it's an 18-day tour. That 18 days is all in that award, because when they asked me what I wanted to know, it was more relating towards the work I'm already doing as a village court magistrate and a human rights defender. So, you know, I know you've been involved in my work with the widow and the 6 kids and other human rights issues. I am sure what TVWAN has done has also contributed to my work in human rights, and the award is, you know, just an acknowledgement of what I've already done and continue on to do.
The DHFP offers executive and leadership development opportunities for senior level professionals. This rigorous short-term invitation-only program is designed to strengthen abilities to develop sound policies and programs around critical global issues. All DHFP programs are approximately 18 days with 10 to 15 participants. Many voiceless people in Port Moresby and across the country would testify of how this simple woman assisted them in their time of need. Journalist and friend Halin Joku recalls instances where she witnessed Linda at work resolving issues at village court hearings.
It was not like if you're a woman, indeed, and you'll have to go to the court case and, police and report a case and wait and see how they were going to go and pick up the suspect. No, this was done like out of court settlement. The women would take the person that abused them, like in the community, they knew that this person did this and that against. It wasn't just men approaching her, it was, women that were approaching her, men were approaching her to sort out the marital issues and all that.
Tula says the award is a recognition for all the dedicated human rights defenders across the nation who sacrificed their lives to serving the voiceless, abused and downtrodden. This includes the hard-working village court officials and volunteers who carry out their work diligently even when they don't get any form of salary or payment. Frida Kana, TV1 News.
Body of Christ churches are appealing to the government to consider how the inflation and the current economic situation is affecting the people. Speaking during a press conference on Thursday, Deputy Chairman of the Body of Christ churches, Pastor Michael Wilson, said people do not have enough money to sustain themselves.
The worsening economic situation in the country affecting families and communities has prompted the Body of Christ churches to appeal to the government to seriously find strategies to improve the situation.
Yesterday, I decided to put something on WhatsApp. A mother could not feed his kids yesterday. There was no money. And the father came home without anything. And that is real. I'm not just making up, it's real. So I don't know how the kids would have lived yesterday. As I'm saying, my voice is going low. There is real pain. People are not feeling well. They just don't have enough to do anything.
Pastor Wilson said the church is experiencing the pain that the people are experiencing, that real people's lives are being affected.
But if you live with the people that I'm talking about, as a pastor, I am daily living with them, you can hear my voice. My voice is going down. There is pain. There is suffering. Please don't pretend. My brothers who are in authority, my leaders who are making decisions, don't pretend and think that everything is all right. People are suffering. As a church, we appeal to you. Please, if you have to subsidize the basic food, do so. Please, if you have to improve on making the economy right, do so.
Pastor Wilson encouraged the government to get the country out of the current situation of overcommitting the country into debts it cannot repay. He urged the government not to spend more than its financial capacity. Frida Kana, TV1 News.
The PNG Investment Promotion Authority and the National Gaming Control Board have signed an agreement to combat illegal activities in the gaming industry. The Memorandum of Understanding enables information sharing and cooperation to apprehend offenders who violate relevant PNG business laws. The NGCB Chief Operating Officer said the partnership will help regulate and monitor foreign-owned businesses in the gaming industry, while the Managing Director of IPA expressed satisfaction with the collaboration, emphasizing the potential revenue of the gaming industry could generate for the country. The MOU also allows IPA to collect reliable data on the industry for appropriate profiling. This week, PNG Dataco and the University of Goroka entered into a partnership through a Memorandum of Understanding. The purpose of the partnership agreement is to establish terms and conditions under which Dataco will partner with the university in the delivery of the Bachelor of Computer Science program at UOG.
We at Dataco, we find that there is a lack of cybersecurity experts in our country. The capacity is not there, so we're trying to build up that capacity basically through that program. So it's in our interest to do that. We in the field of ICT, basically providing telecommunication services to all industry sectors. That is cross-cutting, and one of the key threats for that sector is basically cybersecurity.
City Pharmacy has opened a new branch in Erikule City, bringing the total number of CPL outlets in Morbe to 3. The new branch, located in the busy suburb of Eriku, demonstrates CPL's commitment to providing affordable and high-quality healthcare and retail services to the people of Morbe and Papua New Guinea. The grand opening was marked with a traditional sing-sing group, and the ceremony was led by CPL founder Sir Mahesh Patel, Morbe Provincial Health Authority Chairman David Wisink, and CPL staff. The new Eriku branch now brings the total number of branches in the Momasa region to 8, with 3 being in Leh. Customers can enroll in and use real rewards plus CPL's customer loyalty program at the new pharmacy. In a press conference on the afternoon of Thursday, March 23rd, the Minister for Justice, Pila Niningi, announced legislative reforms to the higher courts. The reform will see a court restructure with the introduction of an appellate court between the Supreme and National Court. A policy submission by DJAG will be put forth to the National Executive Council to seek its approval for the constitutional amendments.
The Minister for Justice and Attorney General Pila Niningi has announced the restructure of the High Courts of Papua New Guinea. In a press conference on the afternoon of Thursday, March 23, Niningi revealed that the Court Restructure Committee comprises of 6 senior judges and the State Solicitor and his team of lawyers. Justice Leska Vera Nanu chairs the committee. The State Solicitor also provides secretarial support apart from the technical legal assistance on the constitutional and other legislative reforms relating to the court restructure.
We feel that it is about time. Now we have to make some important changes to insert one of the another court system. It's going to be the 3 high courts.
Niningi said the restructure will see the introduction of an appellate court between the Supreme and the National Court. The appellate court will hear appeals from the National Court, whilst the Supreme Court will review matters from the National Court and hear constitutional references. The introduction of the appellate court will increase efficiency in judiciary, which will address the large number of backlog cases.
The High Court restructure is intended to achieve an improved working system for judges, resolve judges' remuneration issues, enhance and disposal of cases, and more significantly build a vibrant judicial system that will further develop jurisprudence in PNG.
Niningi says the restructure is intended to achieve an improved working system for judges, resolve their remuneration issues, enhance disposal of cases, and more significantly, build a vibrant judicial system that will further develop jurisprudence in PNG. Mary Stella Kelaton, TVWAN News.
We'll now have the weather forecast for the next 24 hours. And back home, regional forecast for the next 24 hours. Southern region, scattered showers and thunderstorms with areas of rain. Mombasa and New Guinea Islands region, isolated showers and thunderstorms. Highlands region, scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. You're watching TV1 News. We'll have news from overseas when we come back.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase Easy Pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
He says the best Hunters players come from his region. So does she. But there's one thing that brings everyone together. SB Lager, Bunyamyumi.
Axion, the grease stripper, is more powerful than ever before. It is now 100% effective in grease removal. Every concentrated dab is packed with grease and oil stripping power. A breakthrough dishwashing solution. Axion has 100% effective grease stripping power. No oiliness, no bad odor, no struggle. This is the best grease stripping.
A quick favorite meal for the day does feel good. Snacks noodles is my choice for a simple meal. It is easy to prepare and fast to cook. And with a touch of flavor and ingredients, quality noodles that can be cooked and enjoyed in many different ways. You see, my whole family loves it. It's made here in PNG and comes in different pack sizes. Snacks noodles, tastier but you like it more.
When skin tends to lack natural oil, it is termed dry skin. Refresh and rehydrate with the Neutrogena Hydro Boost range. Here's a simple 3-step routine. 1. Hydro Boost Cleanser. It is gentle, won't clog pores, and adds moisture to the skin, unlike soap. Step 2. A moisturizer, such as this one, for replenishment. Step 3. Bright Eyes. A specially formulated eye roll-on. Infuses moisture around the delicate eye area. And there you go. Be beautiful, be you.
Strong like you, smart like me. I hope they don't break. Now surely look his son. This is Relaxo. Strong plus thread. Should I try them on you?
No, please. I'll take them.
Relaxo. Very strong, lasts long.
Soaks around Worth. Suddenly Jordan's got an opportunity. Fires and goals. Only a half chance. It's the Charlie's advantage who puts on the Jets. Cameron for 2 in the opening term. And Hipwood set it up. Cameron, he's popped.
Welcome back. To overseas news, more than a dozen people on the Sunshine Coast are preparing to be homeless as a government-subsidized rent scheme comes to an end. Thousands are facing the same fate across the country, prompting calls for immediate action to stop the national housing crisis from deepening.
To shoulder, these neighbours are trying to stand tall, but the thought of having to move on is too much.
It's hard because you don't know where you're going to go or what you're going to do.
At least 17 residents of this complex have been asked to leave by June when their units are removed from the National Rental Affordability Scheme, sending the cost of the previously subsidised rents soaring and residents into a broken housing market.
You've got no chance at all, and we know that, and that's what plays on your mind the whole time.
They've been told to join 46,000 other Queenslanders waiting for social housing.
We're all like family, it's our little community here. The family's all going to be torn apart now because we're all going to be going into different areas. and that's if we find housing.
More than 20,000 homes will be removed from the federal scheme before it ends in 2026 due to government funding decisions. More than half will go by the end of next year. Currently, the government has no substitute for the program. The state government says it's considering buying the Queensland properties for social housing. Advocates are calling for immediate action.
The last thing we need is a block knocked out of the structure that is keeping a roof over the head of some Queenslanders.
I'd like to say to the government, please help.
I would like to see an extension of the scheme, but I'd also like to see some innovative and creative solutions.
A housing shortage and a spike in demand means women and children escaping family violence are sometimes spending months in shelters. With that in mind, one Hobart shelter is undergoing a redesign, creating spaces that feel safe, homely, and assist in the healing process.
Women and children fleeing domestic violence have often experienced trauma, but crisis accommodation isn't always designed with that front of mind. This shelter is changing that, completely redesigning their centre to make it trauma-informed.
Somebody might get triggered by loud noises or flickering lights or aggressive colours. We work with people to understand what those type of reactions to physical environments are and design to kind of mediate those.
This is what one of the shared spaces looks like at the moment, but a lack of natural light and bright colours can be quite stressful and overwhelming to someone who's experienced trauma. By adding in more natural light and having more muted colours, it's hoped people will feel more relaxed and at home. This, combined with therapy and group programs, is designed to help women and children recover.
Because they've been through traumatic experiences, often that safety mechanism needs to be rebuilt, and that can be really easily done with a good built environment.
The Hobart Women's Shelter has plans to modify its therapeutic programs and recreation rooms, as well as improving its shared outdoor space and playground. It's planning to include trauma-informed design into all their future builds.
We are currently building some longer-term homes for our families, and we're certainly incorporating trauma-informed design.
Back home, Air New Guinea has been certified with the accreditation on dangerous goods by the International Air Transport Association. This training is the first for a PNG airline and focuses on competency-based training and assessments guidelines. The airline's acting CEO, Gary Seddon, stated that the accreditation followed a stringent review of the dangerous goods regulations. The DG training is provided internally to Air New Guinea staff and externally to organizations with dangerous goods cargo requirements. Thalassia MP Freddie Kumai is appealing to the people of West New Britain, especially his constituents, to respect the rule of law and each other as well. Law and order issues are on the rise in the oil palm province in recent times.
MP for Thalassia, Freddie Kumai, said the current law and order issues in West New Britain is a legacy issue which have never dealt with entirely. The problem needs to be uprooted. Kumai said it is incumbent on the people also to support leaders and law enforcement agencies to address it.
We need to respect the rule of law. Mi happy lo ogata all young pla all youths blo mipla. Long respecting the rule of law. Respect is a very, very important values that mipla inidim lo this time because planning long all issues today you mipla blame plan the all young pla all youths blo mipla plan the all social issues inside the community.
Mr. Kumai said with the leadership of the new Provincial Police Commander Superintendent Peter Baki, community leaders as well as national leaders are coming together to deal with it. Police capacity in Thalassia is being looked into by the District Development Authority and the Provincial Administration.
Those issues are legacy issues. Planning long all issues compounded over a period of time. Long all successive leaders blame me, successive PPC and all policemen were planning long all these issues all not properly address them. It could be because of capability belong police, because of some all reasons belong or because you know that support long government long address some good issue where long support more police long police law and order. Law and order it's everybody's a business. You may not blame police so long as leaders, as stakeholders, as business operators, and work you will long address law and order.
He added that police will be executing arrests on lawbreakers as they continue to keep law and order in the district and province in general.
We are working with the new PPC now. We plan to address some good planning along all welfare along all police. Like recently, we are building some new houses for the police now. Our governor is building 20 houses in Kimber Town. I'm building 20 houses in Talaser. As a way forward, we plan to building up capacity along police so that we can request them additional manpower along Kimber so that police ratio of Yumi is still matching the number of population that you got this time.
Freddie Moe, TVWAN News.
NCD Metropolitan Superintendent Silva Sika this morning addressed NCDC police reservist personnel on how they are facilitating the cleanup awareness in the city. Efforts by NCD police to clean up the city continue.
National Capital District Metropolitan Superintendent Chief Inspector Silva Sika this morning encouraged reservist police personnel to carry out their duties with respect and care. Sika said, "Be tough but fair." The parade this morning at 4 Miles saw Metsup Sika addressing the reservists on the cleanup awareness currently being carried out in the city.
We've got to work, but when you're doing the work, you do it tough but fair. Whatever things that properties that you take from people who are doing illegal activities, you do not destroy them in the streets. You confiscate them, put them in the vehicles and bring them over here. Do not get the bitternut and throw them in the air, smoke or whatever. You confiscate, account them properly and bring them here. We give to public 2 weeks, 14 days.
Metsup Sika, in addressing his men, says the force has so much to do, and the reservists have been a key instrument in helping relieve the overly stretched force.
You have so much to do. So you are reinforcement to us, reinforcement us, relieving us from some pressures.
The reservists have been out and about in the city, even assisting at school pedestrian crossings.
Dismiss!
Maricela Calaton, TVWAN News.
And that ends the news segment. In sports, Hunters host Tigers tomorrow and Solo joins Wigmen. Those stories and more with Terry when we return. Stay tuned.
He says the best Hunters players come from his region. So does she. But there's one thing that brings everyone together. SB Lager, Bunyamyumi.
Strong like you, smart like me. I hope they don't break. Now surely look his son. This is Relaxo. Strong plus shred. Should I try them on you? No, please. I'll take them. Relaxo. Very strong, lasts long.
When you're spending time with family, when you've got a big day ahead, when you have given it all you've got, when you're putting on a feast, that's when you want the best. That's when you want flame rice. New flame rice. Win him, Olgeta.
Well, folks, after literally years of negotiation between the fan and the management of Steve Menzies, we have secured the great man for the show. Welcome to the fan.
This is all going through my head, and then all of a sudden he passes it back. Oh, my God.
Today we have enlisted the help of Panthers co-captain and superstar halfback.
When you've kicked it well, you usually know, and especially on the chip kicks, I usually know.
Thanks to Nathan Cleary, invaluable insight for the fans out there, for the kids out there.
And he finishes with an exclamation point. Sealed with an ace.
Wherever you're watching from, welcome aboard. Joining us on sideline will be TVD. Oh, big hit there. It's got numbers on the outside, and Lucara goes in eventually. Oh, and they're claiming a try here, the Vipers. Still going inside ball. This is a beautiful try. This is champagne football here.
Welcome to the John's Family Podcast, people.
Sort of.
What
are you laughing at?
I just thought of something. I don't feel like dancing. On that note, guys, have a good week. We'll speak to you next time.
And welcome back. The PNG Hunters are expected to run out to a packed crowd at the Santos National Football Stadium this Saturday when they play host to the Brisbane Tigers in round 3 of the QRL Host Plus Cup. Saturday's fixture will mark just the second time the Hunters have played with a home ground advantage in more than 3 years.
Following an impressive display against South Logan Magpies last week in round 2, PNG Hunters head coach Stanley Teppen has maintained the same lineup as they brace themselves to meet the visiting star-studded Brisbane Tigers at the Santos National Football Stadium 3 p.m. this Saturday. Although the match against Magpies ended in a draw, the Hunters were clearly the better side with more line breaks, more offloads, more forced dropouts and scored 5 tries to the Magpies 4. Coach Teppen was impressed with the attitude of the boys, especially their ability to defend their arrows, which is fast becoming their trademark in the past 2 games.
Started off well in both halves. It's probably small areas that we still need to work on, giving them easy ball, free ball in certain parts of the game, which we just need to tighten up. Coming off that first round win, and a draw last week, I think it's good to start off well. Gives the boys a bit of confidence.
The Hunters returned to Port Moresby this season following a challenging relocation period on Queensland's Gold Coast in a major boost for the club as they look to continue on what is a promising start to the year. The pride and passion of Hunters fans in Papua New Guinea is well renowned, and the Hunters will be looking to give them something to cheer for in their first home game of 2023. On the team's lineup, Teppen hinted there won't be any drastic changes except for Valentine Callaghan, who's on loan from Capras for last week's game against Magpies, and young Buddy Koso expected to make his debut this weekend.
There won't be many changes in our lineup. We may just have one, but we'll make a call tomorrow after captain's run. With Koso Buddy might have his first game this weekend. We don't have Valentine Callaghan, Valentine Richard this weekend. He's been picked for the Capras. But we're really grateful that he was released, and we've got the relationship with the Capras for him to come play with us the last 2 games.
When asked about the issue of goal kicking, Coach Teppen's casual response was that the boys tried their very best to make those kicks count, but there were moments in the game that they failed to capitalize on good attacking opportunities, which could have made the difference.
There is an added level of intrigue about Saturday's match with Brisbane Tigers, with head coach Matt Church, who had a 2-year stint with the PNG Hunters before joining the Tigers this year. When asked about his expectation on what Church may have up his sleeves for tomorrow's big showdown, Coach Teppen said although Church seemed to have a quality roster at the Tigers since joining the club, The Hunters will treat them with a lot of respect, but won't be taking them lightly.
Matt will try to inform his players what to expect, what he's learned over the last few years being here. But we want to change that. I think the good thing about myself and Coach Paul is we sort of know what sort of Coach Matt is, so what he will try to tell them. So we try and concentrate on our boys, but there'll be a few things that we know what Coach Matt might do, which we'll try to stop. But at the end of the day, it's just 80 minutes. You can only do so much. But we'll be just focusing on trying to improve from the last two games.
2022 Diesel Cup Grand Final runners-up Egma Krabal Guris are looking to finalize their squad in the next 2 weeks. While training has been intense over the past 2 months, a lot of focus has been on endurance and conditioning, including gym and field sessions before the final trials this weekend. Team manager Mapo Tamtu said that they have plans for 2 more trial games starting this Saturday between a select side from the Kokopo Nines and the development squad. The best players from this Saturday's trial will be added to the main Gurias squad. Tamtu also revealed that Gurias' next trial match is against Qatar's tentatively set for next weekend in Kimbe. Gurias are looking to bolster their pack this year with the acquisition of a number of seasoned players from other rival franchise clubs, including Muruks, Levi Andrew, Casey Dixon, Dixon Pipi, Tigers Joe Ong, Wagi Tumbes, Alex Max and Nixon Wak, Vipers William Chirang and Karis Peter, and Qatar's Donald Valuka and Frederick Romangio. Apart from losing the 4 players to the Pride, majority of the 22-22 squad still intact. Central Dabaris try-scoring prowess Andrew Solo has switched camp during the off-season. He is now contracted to the 2022 Diesel Cup champions Croton Hella Wigman.
After a breakout season with his provincial team Central Dabaris in 2022, Andrew Solo has moved on in search of greener pasture. Teaming up with reigning champions Hella Wigman for the 2023 TDSL ExxonMobil Cup will add depth to their backline after the departure of Junior Igila and Siki Konden to the Hunters. His versatility, strength and his speed out wide is second to none. While at Dabaris, Solo formed a daring centre-wing combo with his own rival Dabaris teammate and 2022 top try scorer Douglas Perica. The duo blew a lot of their more fancied opponents out of the park with skill, energy and speed that became a trademark for the club and contributed to the club's maiden top 6 playoff. While attending Bavarok Primary School, Solo naturally developed passion for rugby while watching the big boys from across the road at the Bava Rugby Park. Sure enough, he joined CRU competition and had a few stints with the Harlequins and Nova clubs before transiting to Rugby League 2 years ago while taking part in the Dabaris Nines tournament. That's when he was slated to the Dabaris franchise. After seeing his partner in crime and captain Moria Moria Jr. making the PNG Hunters this year, Solo is inspired to challenge himself and work extra hard to better his game and hopefully catch the attention of selectors. Solo's outstanding form last season also raised a few eyebrows from rival clubs. Solo was approached by the Wigman management after their playing stock was depleted when key players were picked up by the Hunters and Keplers for the 2023 Host Plus Cup season. Solo took the offer with both hands and the rest is history.
So we proud look out to our players, good, pretty more good. Also come on, better players in the futures. And we look at
Solo said he's settled in well with his new club and can't wait for the season to kick off. At the back of his mind, he is committed to give his best and hopefully make the Hunters good in 2024.
Last year performance me looking better. Our match now good. Watch some highlights for me. Looking more. Last year, yeah, blooming one. I want something come out. But I think this year Kami go inside there. Believe from here. Kami making.
And this is sports segment for now. Back to you, Carol.
Thanks, Terry. Tomorrow's bulletin will be at 6:30 due to the live broadcast of NRL games. Before we go, remember to apply the following simple measures to prevent transmission of the coronavirus. Regularly wash your hands with soap and water, cough or sneeze into your elbow, and exercise social distancing. If you are feeling sick, please stay at home. You can also call the COVID-19 hotline number for more information or assistance. Pleasant viewing. Bye for now.
Bye.
The TVWAN News was proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.